So cool.
Yeah.
Parallel Universe.
It's hard to remember exactly how that came about. I remember writing the chorus at home. I think that was probably like pretty like Nirvana inspired, you know. Like, you know, they have these songs like, it's called Even in His Youth. That's a song, so same key, like. They have another song that goes. I really liked those songs that had that sort of minor kind of dark feeling.
They don't sound at all the same to me, but it's interesting that they do that.
Yeah, I think in my mind, I was like, I would write something like Even in His Youth, and that was the.
That seems more like Ramones-y anthemic to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also listening to the Ramones a lot at that time. Also, you know, for me to say, I think I used to kind of try to hide the Nirvana influence because I felt like they were our contemporaries and I didn't want people to know how much I loved them. But like I mentioned to you before, like when I was down and out and there was like all those years where there was no future, their music along with a few other people like David Bowie and Black Sabbath, it just meant the world to me. It just meant everything to me. And partially in their case, because I felt like it was something I'd felt inside me since I was a kid, because I loved punk. Punk was the music that got me into playing guitar, but also loved all different kinds of pop music and stuff. So for somebody to combine punk with pop as well as they did, it just... And somebody to be that good of a screamer, because Darby Crash was my favorite singer when I was a kid. And then, so to have somebody who's screaming like as good as Darby Crash, yet he's singing like melodically in this way that Darby didn't really sing. Yeah, their music just meant a lot to me. So
I remember them opening for you. Was that on the Blood Sugar tour that they were opening for you?
Only for 3 shows.
Oh, I must have been on all 3 shows then, because for me it felt like, that they're on the tour.
Yeah, I was in California only. And I wasn't into them then. I resented the whole idea of a pop punk thing at the time.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I didn't like them till after he'd already died.
Wow.
Yeah, he just died. I think when Tony Oswald started playing. I first heard him when I was in a rehab, and I mean when I first heard them and liked them, I was in a rehab, and that In Utero album had come out, and she played me the song Rape Me over the telephone, and I was stuck in a rehab for 30 days. And I kept calling her up going, play me that song again. Just play, like, however it sounded on the phone. I just had to hear it again. I loved it so much. Yeah, it was really that In Utero. It might've been before he died. No, I think it was still after he died, but I just hadn't heard that album In Utero. And and I still think that's their best album. And that was what got me real excited about them. Yeah, maybe the things about Nevermind that Kurt himself didn't like were the things that didn't appeal to me about it when it came out or something. Because once I heard them sound actually like raw and sound like just like guys playing in a room, that's when I realized. And I didn't even watch them when they opened for us. I was just in my own head. And so anyway, so I saw that chorus as like a Nirvana thing. But like I said,
a lot of times the things we love, we don't hit us right at first.
Yeah.
That's not unusual at all.
Yeah, I know it was that way for you with the Ramones.
Yeah, it just made me laugh.
Yeah. But anyways, being into punk since I was a kid, it was like, once I got into them, I was surprised that I hadn't landed on these ideas like when I first joined the band, you know, this way of sort of combining punk and pop, because like, I just thought the band didn't want to be. I didn't even think the Red Hot Chili Peppers would want to do something like that. Anyways, you know, like I wouldn't have thought.
And they might not have wanted to right when you joined. Actually, if you think about it, because it wasn't until it took time for the mold to open of what the Chili Peppers could be.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have suited really the way Anthony was singing then.
Yeah,
you know, like it took time for it to turn into anything we like.
Yeah.
You know, that took time.
Yeah. But anyways, it came real naturally. That song is definitely a combination of Fugazi and Nirvana in my mind. Like probably quite a bit of our songs I could sum up in ways like that. I could say it's a combination of this artist and that artist or whatever.